deal with the ongoing genocide of MMIW G2S LGBTQIA+.
Speaker, I'll again thank delegates not to call me Madam Chair or Madame la Présidente. I'm a non-binary person. My pronouns are they, them, and their.
How do we keep losing to these people? Hi, my name is Sydney. Welcome back to hell. And today, baby birds, this video is exclusively sponsored by my company, Lions Tea Exchange. I promise I'll keep this brief, but in addition to tasting really, really good, I have a bunch of fun flavors like root beer, which tastes like actual root beer, raspberry elderflower rosé, white peach, and so on. We use real tea leaves. Everything is made here in the United States. I pack all of your orders myself, so no weird drop shipping. You can get multiple cups of tea out of the one tea bag, or I don't know, I guess you can just make a huge cup. It's up to you. Also, with Mother's Day just around the corner, mums like tea. This is a fact. And soon I will have a Mother's Day bundle on the website, so keep your eyes peeled for that. Of course, your support helps the channel tremendously, but consider buying a box just because it's good stuff. It tastes really good, and I know that you will like it. Link in the description box, little baby birds, and let's get back to the video. It does not escape my attention for a minute that we have our own level of incredible stupidity happening here in the United States.
Did they teach you in Sunday school that Jesus Christ himself was a radical feminist?
God is non-binary.
We should treat our southern border like our front porch. There should be a giant welcome mat out front.
I want us all to be aware of is that modern science obviously recognizes that there are many more than two biological sexes. In fact, there are 6.
I know that you guys are very burned out on politics, and honestly same and fair enough, but I could straight up make an entire video about this guy and the amount of dumb crap that he said. And regrettably, he is a Texan politician who is now running for federal government, so that makes me want to fling myself out a window. But fear not, Christians, because now at least you know that God is non-binary.
I'm a non-binary person. My pronouns are they, them, and their.
I want to get to the point of this video, but I almost forgot. There's this clip as well that popped off on social media where a transgender lawyer decided to argue with a judge and then got held in contempt of court and then screamed, "I can't breathe," while being arrested. And also called for a woman police officer because there were too many men.
If I push that,
or maybe because I'm a transgender attorney practicing all over the state.
I don't know what you are.
You do, ma'am. It's not that you do. Why?
Because you're in direct contempt of court.
He shouted at me. No, I'm not being. You did not even say that I was in
You are
contempt.
in direct.
No, I'm not
Judge,
doing my
I
stuff.
apologize, but I felt very threatened by this person.
Do not hurt me. Do not hurt me.
Your hands behind your back.
Do not. Are you throwing me over this?
Stop resisting.
I'm not resisting.
Okay.
Somebody go on Iron Run. Please, get a female officer now. Get a female officer now. Get a female officer now.
There aren't any.
What can I say, kids? These people are nothing if not predictable. Why are you calling for a woman here, friend? Why would that be? But look, as loopy as it is here in the United States and Australia and Britain and basically every other Western country, nowhere is as insane as Canada, where it seems their descent into lunacy is getting more and more extreme by the day. I always thought you guys were just apologetic snow Australians. What is happening over there? Long-term dwellers here on our Hell Gondola know that I have relentlessly made fun of the acronyms that lots of Canadian politicians use literally in Parliament.
It's a time to celebrate the 2S LGBTQI+ community.
For 2S LGBTQI+ people in Canada.
The 2S LGBT community.
Tremendous. This monstrosity is to refer to the LGBT community and all of its many offshoots, including the people in the plus column. I love that for them. But today I learned that this acronym has actually been expanded because I guess it doesn't include enough people. During this press conference from early April 2026, like literally just a few days ago, several Canadian figures, including a very left-wing politician named Leah Gazan, spoke about missing Indigenous women and girls, which I agree is a genuine problem and very worthy of serious attention. But then they go on to say things like this.
They provided $0 to deal with the ongoing genocide of MMIW G2S LGBTQIA+. This is abhorrent.
For those who may have missed it, let's hear that again.
MMIW G2SLGBTQIA+.
MMIW G2SLGBTQIA+.
Yeah, no clearer that time. This acronym stands for, and I have to read it from my computer because I don't have this committed to memory, Missing and Murdered Indigenous Women, Girls, and Two-Spirit, Lesbian, Gay, Bisexual, Transgender, Queer, Questioning, Intersex, and Asexual Plus. Yeah, how did all of this get lumped together? And what is questioning? And why is asexual in there? I also really enjoy how they added the plus at the end there, just in case they miss someone. It's just so thoughtful. So they're talking about missing women and murdered women, which again is a legitimately serious topic. And somehow, through the course of that, they have to reference a bunch of sexualities in people who are questioning and not attracted to anybody or don't have any sort of sexual interest. How are these two things related? I'm not even kidding. There's actually another woman who speaks here, and at the end of her little part, she references gender diverse family members of the people, of the women who have gone missing.
Indigenous women, girls, and gender diverse relatives are put in harm's way every day by the actions of this government.
There's just so much irony to unpack here, especially around the issue of, you know, the trans movement and the erasure of women. And, you know, Canada, I don't know what you guys are doing, but I actually cannot understand how you have risen to this level of identity politics. Are you okay?
MMIW G2SLGBT.
And crazily, this is nothing compared to a massively leftist conference that took place a few weeks ago. And it's probably pretty obvious based on appearance alone, but this was chaired by a person called Adrienne Smith, who believes themselves to be a they-them. So, you know, there is that. I'm pretty sure you can see what Adrienne Smith is, but that's just worth noting for the purposes of this video.
We are on stolen Indigenous land, and the majority of people who are experiencing homelessness in this country are lands in which we are inhabiting.
You guys are going to perish when you see these other clips. You know, if you haven't already, just strap in, because we haven't seen leftism like this in quite a long time. I almost missed it. Almost. So in late March 2026, a political party in Canada called the New Democrats, also known as the NDP, because P stands for party, hosted a convention for their members, activists, and progressives. On the website, it says they are coming together to debate ideas, celebrate their shared values, and help shape the future of their movement. It's just so beautiful, so together and whatnot. When I was writing this video, I actually hit up a friend of mine who lives in Canada, the poor soul, and I was like, hey, you know, what is this party? Like, what's it all about? And he said, and I quote, "The NDP party is basically if the gender studies department became a political party." And honestly, from what I've seen, I can't disagree. But progressives gather together and do dumb crap all the time. The reason why these clips from this conference went super viral is because of their equity-based speaking system and the cards that they have to hold in order to do the speaking. I will explain.
There's a point of privilege on microphone 1.
That's my point of privilege.
Point of personal privilege.
In short, people get given little colored cards that allow them to advance up the speaker line to the microphone if they lack privilege. You know, if they identify as trans or two-spirit or they're a woman or a bag of potato chips. The trouble was this very quickly devolved because they could not stop bickering about who had more or less privilege than each other.
Take the opportunity to adjust the equity card systems, which I understand is a rule that's already adopted. But given that we're dealing with human rights and Canadian identity, it seemed like an appropriate time. So I apologize for interrupting this resolution, but I have suggested wording for the equity card system, if we can hear that.
Dude, this is consistently who we are up against, and somehow we lose to them.
There's a point of privilege on microphone 1, then we'll go to microphone 3. Go ahead, delegate.
Yes, hello, I was standing here with my gender equity card before you called on the previous speaker. That's my point of privilege that I would like to raise.
I will explain the speaking order, which is fixed, that I cannot amend, which is the pro-con rotation. You can move yourself up a line that you're standing in.
I am pro, and I was...
We went...
You went pro, con...
We went pro-con, pro, and my plan was to go con. The speaker at Con Mic 3 also has a speaking card.
I am not going to lie, I genuinely have no idea what's happening here. I guess the girl at the microphone is mad and is venting to the they-them, who's the speaker, conference speaker, because a man spoke before her, maybe? Although I'm not sure. How and why?
Yesterday, this card was used in an inappropriate manner. And while I understand in Ontario we note this as equity, even if that, this was also used inappropriately in terms of gender. I want everyone to be mindful that these cards for individuals like myself who identify as a Black woman have no value outside of this space.
I quite honestly never thought I would see the day where a leftist convention would quite literally give out victim cards. So that's something. Although I think the more important commentary here is that these people can't even figure it out in their own environment. How the hell are they supposed to run a country? I am so fatigued.
Let's hear the point on microphone 1.
I'm sorry, just real quick, point of personal privilege. I understand there's very little time and for delegates to speak, but early on the mic, it's hard as a racialized and transgender delegate to sometimes use this card and speak up, speak to somebody in front of me in line and ask, hey, this pertains to multiple intersecting parts of my lived experience. I'd like to speak. I was rejected when I talked, and it's frustrating when these are my rights being directly under attack right now in Alberta, and that a cisgender woman had spoken over me.
Oh no, a cisgender woman. A biological woman spoke over you, did she? How terrible. Nay, how offensive. What kind of society are we living in where the actual woman gets to speak over the man doing the cosplay? This is terrible. Who signed up for this? How dare she? Send her to the stockade, they, them.
I will invite delegates to assist me in better using the card by forming a straight line behind the microphone with a prominently displayed equity card. If I see speakers ahead of you who are not holding a card prominently, it would be wrong of me to guess about their gender identity, and I will come to you. This applies so far, according to your rules, for gender identities other than a dude.
Now, obviously, we clearly have all this bickering over the privilege cards, but by far my favorite clip to come out of all of this is a woman in a headscarf who is doing that slam poetry way of speaking that progressives like to employ. You guys know what I'm talking about. And this woman accidentally refers to the they-them as a madam. And you guys know the rules. We can't have that.
Canada cannot and will not be part of the legacy of blood that was built in Iraq, in Palestine, and now in Iran. This is a no-question debate. I call this question, Madam and Chairs. Thank you.
Your point's quite well made, Speaker. I'll again thank delegates not to call me Madam Chair or Madame la Présidente. I'm a non-binary person. My pronouns are they, them, and their. Chair is sufficient.
I also have to mention this moment that is also too stupid for words, but following a tribute video dedicated to the NDP's former leader, a lad called Jagmeet Singh, a he-they demanded to know whose idea it was to make this video and how much money and conference time was wasted on it.
My name is Nicholas Torno. I come from Kingston in the Islands. My pronouns are he, they. And I have a question about the video we just watched, the tribute to Jagmeet Singh. I want to know how much money it cost. I want to know how much time it wasted out of the convention. And I want to know who decided on it.
If you can believe it, tolerance was not the response here. Well, that's because he's a white man. But instead, another female delegate steps up to the mic, declaring this comment as wholly unacceptable and harmful because brown people, I guess. I don't know, don't ask me.
Rising on a personal point of privilege, that comment that was just made is absolutely unacceptable. I'm in my house of party where I belong as a racialized person, and we paid a tribute that is incredibly fitting for an incredible leader. And that comment is so harmful in this space.
The most interesting thing about this clip occurs here at the end when this woman specifically highlights that their dear leader, quote unquote, looks like us and fights for us while demanding people show more respect. What is this, North Korea? But this woman and plenty of people like her are actually hypocrites of the worst kind. They want leadership to look just like them, while they would call any white person dangerously racist for making the exact same statement. You aren't allowed to feel proud of your heritage or appearance as a white individual, yet everyone else is entitled and even encouraged to make their race the center of their identity. Not for you though, whitey. You need to go in the pit. You are bad. All the time. No exceptions. It's sort of funny because their idea of diversity stops at skin color, and all of the tribalism that guides everything that these people do is so front and center that it actually dictates what kind of leaders they like, what policies they have, what ideas they support. It is no wonder that we have ended up here. But again, if a white person were to feel this way and, God forbid, articulate it, they would be shamed into the darkest recesses of some cave system somewhere, some social cave system, maybe. But it's fine for everybody else because they are fighting for their minority group. They are fighting for their very survival. Despite the fact that some of these people are from global groups that number in the billions. The thing is, obviously, it is fun to have a laugh at these people and the things that they do and say because it's so foreign to the rest of us. It's so absurd to prioritize listening to people purely based on who they are or how they identify or whatever. But I can't help but notice, not even notice, but want to point out to the rest of you how many people are in these rooms and how many people are participating in these conferences. And just